In the Know for Monday, May 16, the 136th day of 2022. There are 229 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Final week of school for Grayson County students. It's a 11-day weekend coming up. No, settling in to my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire. Is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's me. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
You were out in the cool temperatures this morning.
Yes.
A little more mild morning. Maybe you're hoping for a milder day. You've got sleeves on today, like you're chilled.
Yeah. It's cold on this end of the building
You're
right now.
a bit of
I'll warm up in a minute.
You're a bit of a word nerd, or you
I think so.
you like words to be used properly.
I do.
Have you heard someone say irregardless?
Sure.
Irregardless is one that we hear all the time. That's not really a word. It's popular. Irregardless simply doesn't exist in the English language. The word you're looking for is regardless, as in regardless of the cost. They said they're going to have to do whatever. Irregardless, I guess, would actually be double negative in a sense if you say irregardless. People mix that up kind of like couldn't care less and could care less. So there's your word nerd tip of the day. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio News Hawk Award. He's a 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe. London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even East Main Street in Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm curious, did you have any tacos or anything good? I know you were at East Main Market.
I was planning on eating, and as we wrapped up our last little video that we shot, we both kind of looked up, and all of a sudden, kind of off into the distance, we saw the clouds brewing. And what ended up hitting, we were like, you know what? I think it might be time for us to get all this equipment inside before we got a little wet.
So you didn't get a taco?
I did not.
You didn't get a pizza?
I did not.
You didn't get, I don't know what else was there.
Someone had a grilled cheese.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did see Zach he had
a grilled cheese, and
cheese.
he said it was really good.
Did I also hear that there was a grilled cheese with pot roast?
Yes.
Is that what?
Yeah, that was what I was having my eyes on in the case that I was going to, and I hope that they come. I guess June's the next one.
Yeah, honey. The last time, so you and I ate at a grilled cheese specific restaurant back last summer in Nashville. Would you have tried one with pot roast on it? You like pot roast, so
Yeah, it
you'd have
was
tried a grilled
grilled
cheese with
cheese, pot roast, and then like pepperoncinis on there too, and then there was something
Yeah,
else.
that sounds good.
Yeah,
All right.
I was on board.
it. It gets the Christy Buckle seal of approval. Look, then I guess we're willing to try it. Sounds good. Well, I heard the music was good. There was a day long of music, like farmers market during the day, and then had your vendors and you had some musicians that were there.
Made a good crowd.
And so good, East Main Market. So another one in the books until June. Sunny and pleasant Monday ahead. I mentioned it's going to be mild. High will remain in the mid. We won't get to 80 degrees today, so it'll be a little more mild. Quiet weather Monday and Tuesday. Look to be the pick days of the week before the humidity goes back up. And before we get a chance for what could be a more complex day on Wednesday, I think the majority of your Wednesday morning could be impacted by weather and storms. But I think the afternoon looks to be a little bit better, and then maybe scattered into Wednesday evening. Becoming sunny today. I think it's already become sunny, so that's good. It's here ahead of schedule. 79 is the high. 55. I don't think we'll get 79 here. I think maybe we might get 77, 78. Tonight, low of 55. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high of 84. And then, of course, we're keeping an eye on things not only going on Thursday morning, because so we will have Sam and I have to be at Grayson County High School graduation Thursday morning, and then we have outdoor graduation, scheduled to be outdoor graduation.
Looks good right
on
now.
Friday evening. So I think it will
Might
will
just be
fun.
toasty.
Going to be a busy week. Surprise visit by some congressional leaders to Europe over the weekend. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell and a delegation of GOP senators met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv during an unannounced visit on Saturday. A video posted on Zelensky's Telegram account. I thought this was funny. In Ukraine or in Europe, they're still using something called Telegram. For us, Telegram went out, 100 years ago. We stopped sending
I was
telegrams.
going to say, yeah. No,
So it
I'm
might
not sure I've
be-
ever seen a machine a telegraph.
Oh yeah. I still remember telegrams as a thing, but they weren't really a thing. But it was read that telegram to me. You're you just won the lottery. Stop. Everything had a stop. It had a sentence. Stop. So
Would you get spam telegrams? Was that a thing? Like you get spam calls?
I don't think spam telegrams were a thing.
Maybe we should
simply
go back
because
then.
they cost money. It was per word.
Oh.
They cost per word to send.
Well, then
So
maybe we should go back to that.
do you want to pay per tweet or per text or
Well, I mean,
per
no,
email?
I'm saying
per
just for
email
phone
word?
calls, so then we don't get the spam calls anymore.
Maybe. I mean, telegrams though telegrams were the original text message. They just came to you on a piece of paper. They handed you a slip, and you said, "Oh no, I'm in financial ruin," or whatever. They would
Is that
tell
what
you.
they usually say?
Yeah, that's the way they did it in the old movies. The telegram alerting you of bad news. There was rarely good news that came via telegram. Good news could wait for the mail. Bad news had to be a telegram. One of the reasons they were in Europe was to solidify and try to work on supporting Ukraine in the most responsible way possible. But also Finland and Sweden are inching closer to seeking NATO membership. Finland's government declared a new era is underway as it inches closer to seeking NATO membership hours before Sweden's governing party yesterday and backed a plan to join the transatlantic alliance amid Russia's war in Ukraine. I am fine with having more people in the boat.
I'm surprised they're not already in it.
I was a little surprised Finland and Sweden aren't in there either. They're, Switzerland and some of those mid-European countries have tried to be as. It's easy for us because we think, well, Russia's far from here. So if you are in Europe, then your dynamics are a little bit different. But here's all I would offer about Finland and Sweden. Happy for you to be under the big top. Happy for you to join NATO. You got to carry your own weight. Like, you can't be over there. These little tiny countries that get involved in skirmishes, or they want us to come to the rescue. So really, they just want the United States backing as much as anything. If they weren't already in NATO, it's not about having German and British and other support. Now there's like, can we get you all to come over here and help us if we get into trouble? But I am also fine I'm good with establishing deeper lines of that alliance in areas that could eventually be encroached upon by Russia and other ne'er-do-wells. Speaking of that theater, we've got some Fort Campbell soldiers, some men and women will be preparing to deploy to Europe. You might have seen more air traffic around our parts the last couple of weeks. Oftentimes, that is an indicator of preparation and increasing readiness levels as our servicemen and women who are stationed in our general area. You know, we're on a really good flight path between Fort Knox and Fort Campbell.
Well,
and so we see
It
more.
was interesting. Last week we had a baseball game and they were playing the national anthem. And as the national anthem, we heard them off in the distance. And we thought, are they going to nail this?
Gotta fly
where it's a
over.
flyover. And they weren't quite. It wasn't quite. But we were going to be very impressed.
Deployment of Headquarters 101st Airborne Division and the 2nd Brigade Combat Team will begin as soon as this summer. The Army announced in March about 300 soldiers from Fort Knox were being deployed to Germany and Poland to bolster U.S. Army forces in Europe. These units from Fort Campbell will be moved to help support Europe and NATO allies in response to the invasion of Ukraine. All right, some of the other headlines closer to home. 2 Grayson County residents have been selected to serve on the board of the new ECTC Foundation. The Elizabethtown Community and Technical College announced the launch of their ECTC Foundation. It's led by key stakeholders throughout the college's 10-county service area. It will focus on educating and engaging communities in collaborations that help ECTC add greater value to the region. Of course, with this new Ford SK plant coming in, new training facility, ECTC helping lead the training charge on this and prepare the labor force to accommodate this economic injection in our community. But 2 people from Grayson County, they are retired Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center CEO Wayne Merriweather and Gary Watkins, founder and president of Wabuck. He also operates Clayton Watkins Construction. And so those two men will be helping represent our area on the ECTC Foundation. So congratulations and thanks to them for their service and representing. The Hart County Sheriff's Office is asking for help identifying 2 suspects accused of breaking into vehicles. The Hart County Sheriff, Jeff Wilson, said earlier this month deputies responded to Interstate Plaza Road in Munfordville and also the Riverside Animal Clinic after several vehicles were broken into with a variety of items stolen from inside the vehicles. They're asking if you have any information. If you're watching, you're seeing a photograph. If you're not, you can see this photograph at K105.com. And if you recognize the suspects or know they're recording using stolen credit cards, etc. So if you know anything about this and can help, 270-524-2341. A man accused of shooting a Western Kentucky police officer and stealing his cruiser was arrested yesterday morning in southern Indiana. The suspect was jailed on charges that included assault on a police officer, robbery, theft of a vehicle, and possession of a gun by a convicted felon. The officer was investigating a suspicious person at an Owensboro convenience store Saturday night who matched the description of a robbery suspect. The suspect got into a physical altercation with the officer as he was being questioned and used a concealed handgun to fire at the officer before fleeing the scene in the cruiser. The officer was hit but was able to call for help and was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. The stolen vehicle was recovered a short time later in Spencer County, Indiana, after they were searching for, looking for the
photography
suspect.
of them like setting up to go.
Yeah.
And the amount of, I mean, as you can imagine, but the sheer amount of officers in police cars lined up that they were on the Audubon Parkway? Is that
Audubon
right?
Parkway, yes.
Audubon, okay. Audubon, okay. Gotta get right
The
there.
Audubon is in Germany.
Yes, okay.
The
But
Audubon
I didn't know if
Parkway
they
is in
wanted to be
Kentucky.
fancy and I know how they get in
They're
Davis
going
County
Versailles,
sometimes.
not Versailles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know here in Davis County, too.
It can be fancy like.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just like that sometimes they'll go Davies County.
Yeah, I've heard that. A Hartford man has been arrested on drug charges after a traffic stop on the WK Parkway in Ohio County. Sheriff Tracy Beatty said the Pennyrile Narcotics Task Force and a deputy with the Ohio County Sheriff's Office Drug Interdiction Unit conducted the traffic stop for traffic violations. They found 49-year-old Mark Coy was driving the vehicle. They detected a strong odor of marijuana coming from inside the car. Their canine officer, Astro, was deployed and indicated the presence of narcotics inside the vehicle. They found various drugs and drug paraphernalia. They also found he was driving on a suspended license, arrested and charged with possession of a controlled substance, prescription-controlled substance, not in proper container, yada, yada, yada. Two Beaver Dam residents are facing drug trafficking charges after police seized several grams of methamphetamine during the execution of a search warrant. On Friday, the Pennyroyal Narcotics Task Force and other law enforcement agencies executed a warrant at 362 Bruce School Road in Beaver Dam. They found things you're not supposed to have. Police arrested 35-year-old Jared Blanton, 20-year-old Kayla Hillard, charged each with trafficking, etc., etc., etc. I don't know, Sam, if we can call the Reds' 2022 season a historic season yet. It could be. It may eventually be.
I mean, the Tigers are coming up there as having just as bad as a record.
It may be.
And listen, Dennis Cook likes to talk a lot of trash talk, and his Cubs are not doing that much better. So
it could be historic for multiple reasons. It could be one of the worst starts to the greatest finishes. They still have an opportunity to write their own tale, but every day that goes by, there's a little more history that's being written. Ke'Bryan Hayes' RBI grounder helped the Pirates become the sixth team in big league history since 1901 to win despite not getting any hits. It last happened in 2008 when Jared Weaver and Jose Arredondo,
one of my favorites,
of the Angels lost while holding the Dodgers hitless. By Major League Baseball record-keeping rules, the Reds' accomplishment isn't an official no-hitter because its pitchers didn't go at least 9 innings. So the Pirates were hitless, but yet they won 1-0. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't happened very many times.
They didn't. See, and that's the thing that drives me crazy. I don't know, drives me crazy is the right way, but they were hitless, but they weren't no-hit, according to the MLB.
Yeah, I know that.
It's kind of funny to me. But
me as odd.
Hunter Green pitched really well yesterday, and I felt bad for him.
So the Reds are off today as they travel. Are they on the road up on the lake?
Yeah, they had to play the Guardians.
The Cleveland Guardians tomorrow when Connor Overton will get the start.
That's the ace right now of the Reds rotation. But it's just interesting to me that, and I get that they have a 2-game series, but they have a travel day to go from Pittsburgh to Cleveland, which is not very far.
Maybe maybe it's an Uber. Maybe that's why they're Ubering.
Maybe they just needed a day at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Possibly.
Because I don't know that you want to spend an extra day in Cleveland.
They call that the mistake by the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes. And then in NASCAR, Kurt Busch took Jordan Brand to victory lane at Kansas yesterday. I didn't see too much of that, just saw kind of the outcome. So congratulations to Kurt Busch and the Jordan Brand racing team. I think the NASCAR regular season is going to take a little bit of a break. You know, sometimes they don't race Mother's Day. They hadn't done that for a long time, but they did this year. They are taking a break before the Coca-Cola 600 heads to Texas for next weekend's All-Star race. And then, of course, I guess Charlotte will be off in the distance as well. Is the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte or is it at Texas this year? So they're doing the All-Star race 1 week and then...
Yeah, it better not. They might not move the Coca-Cola 600
out
of Charlotte.
Doing the
That's Memorial Day.
At Texas and then coming back there. I like it being all contained to Charlotte for the weekend, I think, or for that 2-week period. So there you go. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. We got plenty more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
I'm Samara Hevron, your state representative, and I'm hard at work bringing jobs and better roads to Grayson and Hardin counties. I'm a conservative Republican endorsed by Kentucky Right to Life and the NRA. I fought against corruption. I protect our God-given freedoms. And I honor our military and law enforcement. I hope I can count on your vote by May 17th. Keep Hevron in the house, y'all, and I'll keep fighting for the opportunities that you deserve.
Paid for by Samara Hevron for State Representative.
Today, successful small businesses are lean, portable, and focused. If you're running your own business, you need to stay in tune to your customers, vendors, and employees. That doesn't leave much time for processing payroll and reporting, much less the overall performance of your business. The firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart has a full offering of services for small businesses. Payroll processing, tax liability, unemployment, and financial reporting, just to name a few. Think of them like a built-in business manager, but they don't get sick and they don't ask for time off. Call or contact today to help get your business focused across the board. Buckles, Travis, and Hart, 270-259-5604, GraysonCPAs.com.
I'm Jeremy Loxton, and I'm seeking re-election as county attorney on May 17th. Grayson County is a county moving forward. My staff and I are asking to continue to be part of the push forward as we are just getting started. Service and improvement is our motto, and service and improvement is what you deserve. So on May 17th, please vote Jeremy Loxton for Grayson County Attorney.
Paid for by Jeremy Loxton.
Steve Stapleton has been serving Grayson County for most of his life. He spent 45 years at the Litchfield Fire Department, 24 years as a paramedic, became licensed in determining and pronouncing death, and served on the Area 5 Critical Incident and Stress Debriefing Team. It is his passion to be the voice for those who have lost theirs, and to provide honest answers and peace of mind to their families. By electing Steve Stapleton, you're electing a man of character and advanced medical background. Steve Stapleton promises to restore credibility, professionalism, integrity, and compassion to the office of Grayson County Coroner. Paid for by Steve Stapleton.
Amazon really wants you to use Alexa to help you shop and save money. A new Alexa Shop List Savings category in the Alexa app lets users activate cashback offers across retail stores nationwide. Just select the offers you want, go to the store and make your purchases, and then when you're done, take a photo of the store receipt that shows the store's name, location, date and time of purchase, product price, and total, then submit it to Amazon through the app. Amazon will then send the rebate via their Amazon gift card account. Roku rolling out a premium bundle. Streaming platform says that its high-end Roku Ultra, originally priced at $89, will now include the Roku Voice Remote Pro that costs $30 in a bundle that will be available for $99, basically saving you $20. Mostly good reviews for Sony's latest flagship set of noise-canceling headphones. The Verge says the XM5s have a fresh design, cleaner sound, and better noise cancellation, all for the nice price of $400. Tech Report, Larry Olson, NBC.
Well, don't let 'em try to upsell you. There's a reason they make chocolate.
Today is Biographers Day, a day to start reading or writing a biography.
Have you started yours?
I'm living it. It's being documented every
show?
day for 1 hour. Yeah.
So chapter 3000 is coming up soon.
My biography is on thousands of these. If you're with us, you know what that is. It is also. It does ask the question: what would yours be named?
In the know?
Your biography, I suppose. It's Mimosa Day, the drink, not the tree.
Oh.
It's
not a fan.
Sea Monkey Day today. Celebrating the amazing pet that comes alive when placed in water.
I love those two.
Sea
Has
monkeys.
Alea gotten any sea monkeys before?
Yeah. What? Well, they're not technically the monkeys, but what are those things now that you all are
brine
putting in
shrimp
water and they're getting so much bigger? They're
No, those are nowhere.
those
near.
are not
The
sea
little
monkeys.
foams, the little things that come in like, they look like pills, and you put them in.
but we've done those as well. These are like little dinosaurs that start out, a couple inches, and they're supposed to grow 600 times
Okay,
their
yeah.
size.
We had those.
But no, she's never had sea monkeys. She's not ready for sea monkeys just yet.
Sea monkeys are real.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I see.
They're
All
like
right.
brine shrimp.
yeah,
or
brine
some-
shrimp or something.
Yeah.
else.
Ew, okay.
They're actually really cool.
But I don't think you can popcorn them.
no.
Today is also Love a Tree Day. You have a new dogwood tree. Do you love it today?
I do, but I'm still back at mimosa. I love mimosa trees.
Oh yeah. Well,
So.
you can love more than one tree.
Yeah.
For you, we'll call it Love Trees Day, not just Love a Tree Day. And trees make you smarter. By the way, people who took a break from work and looked at trees for 10 minutes scored higher on tests than those who didn't. Gazing at a tree, say scientists, allows the brain to rest and recharge.
So does that mean I just need to go out into the front yard and start looking up?
That's all
Watch
you got
out.
to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm afraid that I'm going to get...
Bombed.
or, I mean, the squirrels like to take on those trees as well.
There's one particular area, it appears, that you're
that's
vulnerable
new.
for
Yes.
being bombed.
Did you see though, as you were walking in at the very end of the walk, that there's a hatched
I
blue
did.
baby
I did see that. I
baby
did see
bird
that,
egg?
yes.
So I think there's a nest because not too far from where that little egg that it hatched is where
A bomb zone.
everything has been
Yeah,
bombed.
right down there, danger zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
I'll
We need to
scurry through there.
need to put a tent up or something over that area.
build a canopy. Tomorrow is election day, and so I will describe it. Sam's already heard me describe it this way. Election day tomorrow is too big to ignore, not big enough to go all out, because there are some races tomorrow that obviously are of interest, but there are not enough of interest races that are driving turnout. People are super excited about, and so tomorrow is one of those odd days. I will also say, I'll use this opportunity in this platform to say, from the standpoint of an organization trying to cover and attend all the various things that might be going on and happening, if it's state law that you can't have school on election day, probably a good idea to not have school events on election day. Because for those of us who are involved in covering election day, then it makes it very hard, say, to cover spring sports or
it makes
graduations or so.
You're not speaking of things here, of course.
We're forced to make choices then. I mean, some people are forced to make choices then on, well, what do you cover? What are our responsibilities here? And so I'll just say that there's not, if you're a registered Democrat, you're really going to have to decide how important it is to you to keep your string intact of saying, oh, I've voted in every election since, '07 or whatever you're going to say. Because there's just really not that much going on in Grayson County from a registered Democrat standpoint.
I don't think it's just the two statewide races.
Sure. You can vote for Charles Booker if you want to. He's going to win that primary.
You don't think Ruth Gow or whatever her name is going to win? Is that her name?
I do not. I thought that she was a Republican.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a slew of people that are seeking to unseat Rand Paul in the primary, but not as many over on the Charles Booker side. But there's more than one. And then there's the guy who's always running to unseat Brett Guthrie, the Linderman guy.
Oh, he's a Democrat, yeah.
Yes, but there are two people in that race, so you can choose between the perennial candidate and so those are really the two that you can vote for. So it would almost be better if there were none, because you say, well, I have nothing to vote for, I don't have to go. But if you want to be one of those people that says, well, I've voted in every election and I have a good voting record, then you almost got to go in and get your uniform dirty. Like, well, I was here, I played. But on the other side, Rand Paul leads a group of several. There were Blankenship, Ashland, Frederick of Murray, Hamilton of Nicholasville, Steinfield of Marion, and then John Scheiss. And then, oh, you're right, Sam. Ruth Gow is on the Democratic side. Yeah, you got Booker, Gow, Blanton, and Merrill.
Yeah, because is Merrill the one from McKee? I meant to look up.
McKee.
I'd never heard of McKee, Kentucky.
Yeah, from McKee. The U.S. House has a race, but it doesn't impact us here. It's the Louisville district. So you've got Morgan McGarvey and Attica Scott seeking to secure the seat that John Yarmouth has. The state legislature, after some redistricting, they got a couple of races that are involved, but neither of them involve us here. You got the Louisville mayor's race that's going on. You got county here in Grayson County. You got county attorney's race that's going to be decided because there nothing in the general election. So you get a county attorney's race decided here locally. Get a coroner's race decided here locally. You got a couple of odd magisterial races. You got a couple, about 3 constables races, and really, other than that, there's just really not much to report. I'll go ahead and tell you, you'll find all your election totals at K105.com tomorrow. That's the place to look. That's where the tabulations will be coming out of the courthouse and will be posted online. So it's, again, kind of go, if you heard me say too big to ignore, too small to go all out on, we're just kind of doing a scaled back, getting the numbers out, letting people know what's going on, rather than, full commentary and insight and what happened and this, that, and the other. So just
I really want your play-by-play of the coroner's race.
I would be willing to do it like Jeff Probst does on Survivor. That's 2 votes Dermott, 2 votes Hudson, 2 votes Stapleton, 6 votes for me.
I think that would be. I think
And the next governor's candidate voted off the island is...
Why doesn't Charlotte Willis get up there and read every vote that way?
That's a good question.
I think we need answers.
Well, there may not be many votes tomorrow. I drove by Saturday morning. By the way, I think when the ballot gets saucy, I think you'll see more people pursue the early voting opportunity. As I told you on Thursday, there were 116 on. As I told you on Friday, there were 116 on Thursday. There probably were maybe, we'll just say, similar to that number on Friday.
Probably a little more.
Saturday morning, I drove by there about 10 o'clock, and had I not been wearing, shorts, a shirt, and nasty tennis shoes, I'd have probably just wheeled in there because there was nobody there.
Really?
I could just walk right in and vote and be done. So, but I think that's not an indication. I think it's an indication that it's new and people don't know you can. But I also think that it is a indicator that people are wah about the ballot. It's like there's just really... I mean, if you are in those two really contested races, or if you're in those magisterial races or the constables races, you obviously have you have a state representatives race that's being decided as well. So that's another one that's adding to the calculus. You got an incumbent and a challenger, but that's like the 2.0 of that race between Heverin and Clark. So, but it's just not enough that's just driving people to the polls going, get out of my way, I've got to vote.
That'll be exciting, though. I always like election day.
You call it exciting?
Well, it gets exciting towards the end of the day.
I heard you
end
right.
of the day, yeah,
Sure.
no.
Well,
I mean, for us at least, because we're holed up in the clerk's office, and
yeah,
it gets intense there. It's like the ninth inning of a baseball game, at some points.
Today we get reminded math is important.
It is.
Even simple math
Uh-huh.
is important. Then if we get later on in the
week... That's why
week...
we now leave it up to the computers.
Yeah, well...
Because the Hallett-Gormley method did not work one year.
Computers are only as good as the conductors. So, gotta get it right on the front end.
I'm warming up the fingers.
So then we have, middle school graduation is tomorrow as well. Then on Friday, high school graduation is scheduled. It will be Friday evening. We just... I think right now it'll be outdoors and at the football field.
And looks like they're finished the bleachers too, so it looks good.
Looks like that's all together and good. And then kind of that leads into next week is an odd week. It feels like we're getting late enough in the month that it should already be Memorial Day, but the Memorial Day is all the way at the end of the month. So after this weekend, it's the first week of summer. But it's still an entire week before Memorial Day weekend, summer for school.
Yeah.
Of school summer.
Because it's weird, because usually the region baseball tournament starts on Memorial Day. That's usually how it goes, so it's weird. That's probably what's throwing me off, too, is that district baseball starts this week, which means region starts next week, the week before Memorial Day. So, yeah, it does feel weird.
Yeah. But then that means it's hamburger season. Grilling out.
Is hamburger season not 365?
Well, it has been for us. So our grill... We got supply line issues with our grill, and so we've been restricted on our grilling opportunities for the last few months, and I need to get that resolved. But now that we're rolling into grilling season, the average American chows down on 60 burgers a year, so that's a little more than one a week.
I'm probably the over there.
You're the over?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking I don't eat hamburgers very much anymore. I mean, when we have them, I have them, and we have them.
Listen.
We might have them once a month in the summertime.
There's not much better than a McDonald's cheeseburger.
I like McDonald's cheeseburgers
Especially
very well.
when you're leaving a game at 11 o'clock at night. You don't want to drive through somewhere. You don't want to go home and cook.
Yeah. Do you ever want to go home and cook, Sam?
Touche.
60 burgers a year means more than one a week on average, and I definitely don't even have one a week. I probably used to, but I don't now.
I don't know that I've had one in a month in a couple months. I guess whenever you made them last, but I probably had, a half of one?
I had one
maybe?
yesterday for lunch, a burger.
I was trying to think, and when we traveled about 3 weeks ago, did we have a burger at any point in time
I
during
didn't.
I didn't either. So that was, it was kind of
I'll
odd.
eat your rolls.
I like them. But
It can be frustrating when you go on a diet and the scale doesn't move.
Yeah.
Here are the diets that scientists say really work. the Mediterranean diet, and the low-carb whole food diet. Which diets don't work? Cabbage soup diet, lemon detox diet, the baby food diet, and the wine and egg diet. Those are the ones that don't. The Mediterranean supposedly works, and the low-carb whole food diet.
I couldn't live on low carb.
Baby food? People just eat
Yes.
that? Oh, gosh.
That's been a
That sounds-
fad off and on for
that
years.
sounds horrendous.
There's some really good baby food out there. Tutti Frutti. Oh, that's good stuff.
Tutti Frutti is a baby food?
It used to be.
Is
I mean, I
That's what
assume it
Little
still
Richard
is.
sings about?
I was gonna say, I thought that was a song.
Wop baba loo baba wop bamboo.
I don't know. But
And then this made me laugh. The Oklahoma Sooners have a new quarterback on their roster, and he may have the best name in all of sports. I love good sports names. You know, like Manny Mota. And there's just some other great.
Oh, the NASCAR driver. You know which one I'm going with there?
You mean Brandon?
No.
He's a NASCAR driver.
Richard Tickle.
Oh, gotcha. Trickle.
Yeah. Did they say Tickle?
Yeah, you got it.
Trickle, yeah.
There are some good, because they named Cole Trickle was Tom
But he went by
Cruise
his nickname.
Yeah, absolutely. But Oklahoma has signed a new quarterback, and the internet has fallen in love with his name. His name is General Booty.
I like it.
General Booty is his name. His last name sounds familiar. His uncle John David Booty played at USC during Pete Carroll's time with the Trojans. His dad was a major fan of the military ranks, etc. So he named his kid General.
So center had a connection. One of the opponents that they played in football last year had a connection to General Booty, and I, of course, had to find a way to work his name into the broadcast. So when I saw his name pop up, I was like, "Oh, look at that! I know that guy." I think he went to high school with. There was a connection. There's some connection, but I had to work his name in.
And General Booty drops back. Booty throws over the middle. Booty. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around. You're on In the Know.
Joe Brad Hudson has been a vital part of the Grayson County Coroner's Office since 1991. As the coroner since 2006, Joe Brad has watched the requirements and demands of the office increase while working with county government to make sure service to the community improves too. A vote for Joe Brad Hudson is a vote for experience, for compassion, and an understanding of what the office requires. As his father before him, county coroner isn't a title, it is his life's work. Vote for experience. Vote for Joe Brad Hudson for coroner on or before May 17th. Paid for by Joe Brad Hudson.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Are you tired of politicians who sell you out and lie to you? With the election around the corner, Samara Heverin wants you to believe that she fought for your rights. But the truth is, in 2020, as Beshear closed churches and kept abortion clinics open, Heverin refused to help Kentuckians fight against shutdowns and mandates which devastated all our lives. She voted twice to extend Beshear's emergency, even as recently as January. We the people can end this madness. Let's fight for our rights, the unborn, and drain the Frankfurt swamp. Vote for Jacob Clark on May 17th.
Paid for by Jacob Clark.
This is Sheriff Norman Chaffins with the Grayson County Sheriff's Office. Responding to traffic crashes involving injuries or deaths in Grayson County is a tough part of the job. There is so much out of your control when driving, but what you do have control over is wearing a seatbelt. Less than 2 seconds. That's all the time it takes to buckle up. Those 2 seconds will give you the best chance of surviving a crash, especially at night when the risk of death triples. Why do we enforce seatbelt laws? It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives. Please, Grayson County, always buckle up.
I'm voting for Shan Embry.
Shan Embry?
She's practical.
I think she's a hard worker.
Shan Embry.
She's experienced, working for the community.
I'm Shan Embry. Thanks for your support and your vote for County Attorney on or before May 17th. I want to keep working for you.
Shan Embry.
Shan Embry.
Shan Embry. Shan Embry. I'm voting for Shan Embry.
Vote for Shan Embry.
Paid for by Shan Embry for County Attorney.
Don't miss this fantastic buying opportunity from Lawson Company Auctioneers of Lake Property on Nolan Lake, located at 3053 Broadford Road in Clarkson on May 28th at 10 a.m. Central Time. The auction will consist of 33.72 acres in total, divided into 10 lots. Also on the property is a 3-bedroom home, 2 barns or storage building. The property is close to the lake and public boat ramp and offers many nice building sites. Open house will be May 25th through the 27th from 3 to 7 p.m. Central. For more information, call 502-718-0990 or visit LawsonAuctioneers.com.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather. Sunny and pleasant today with highs into the mid to upper 70s. For tomorrow, more of us climbing into the low 80s, keeping the sunshine. Wednesday, a few rounds of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, some of which could be strong to severe. We'll see some additional rain chances by Thursday. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrews.
This music is my healing. This music is my healing. Lord knows I need some healing.
Did you know the computer mouse was initially named the computer turtle?
I guess it kind of makes sense.
I'm not so sure it wouldn't have been more appropriate.
I mean, now most of ours are turtles because they don't have tails.
So
Because mine's a Bluetooth.
Yeah, I was kind of, well, I mean, it has, it's rounded, it's a shell on top, but because mouse was one syllable, maybe it was just easier, but I guess you could make an argument for either. She's the turtle expert over there. What do you think? You think the computer mouse is more mouse, or if it were round instead of long, I could see a better argument.
But, I mean, like the one you just picked up, that one's a mouse because it's got a tail.
Mm-hmm. What do you say?
I like mouse.
Yeah. You just think it's because it's comfortable because that's what you've always known it?
Probably.
Or you think it's more appropriate?
Yeah, probably.
All right. So mouse it is. We'll stay with mouse. Agreed? Okay. Sure. It's agreed to. The weekend box office, Doctor Strange dropped 68%, but still remained number one. It kind of shows you how bad the rest of the entrants were. Doctor Strange, $61 million over the weekend. The Bad Guys, less than 7. Sonic, Firestarter, Everything Everywhere All at Once, etc., 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 down the list. Fantastic Beasts. Box office, Doctor Strange, number one. Congratulations to Noah Thompson. Noah Thompson makes it to the final 3 of American Idol. America got it right.
The top 3?
Yes, they got it right. I was afraid they wouldn't get it right. They got it right last week. They got it right this week. The 3 they sent through are the best 3. They will have the 3 of them will have the best careers. Nicolina, she's good. She'll be successful, but I just don't see her being the American Idol. Christian from last week was great. I just don't see him being the American Idol. But Leah Marlene, yeah, she has really developed during the competition.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Girl, and then Noah Taylor gets. They all get through.
Now it goes back to Louisa.
Yep, a homecoming this weekend, and that'll be good. You're going to have a who's who. So Carrie Underwood was one of their mentors last night. She will be performing on the finale. Michael Bublé will be performing on the finale. Thomas Rhett will be on there as well. Deanna Carter, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I'm not even sure I still knew they were.
Ben Platt, Sarah Bareilles, Melissa Etheridge, Flo Rida. Bring your boots with the fur.
Flo Rida on American Idol. Interesting.
At the season finale, the top 3 contestants will hit the stage in hopes of securing America's vote with one round dedicated to Bruce Springsteen.
Okay. The boss. So what do we got Noah Thompson then?
Oh yeah, Thompson, that's his
name. What are we what Springsteen song? Born in the USA?
Oh.
Go with a classic? Glory Days?
So I just want to go ahead and prepare you. He's not going to win.
Uh-huh.
One of those
Hunter-
two girls
Hunter
is
girl
going to
will
win. Maybe. Leah is coming from the outside.
Mhm.
She very
She's Rich
easily.
Strike.
Listen, last night she did Carrie Underwood's remake of The Pretenders, I'll Stand By
Mhm.
You, and she did it in a way where you forgot Carrie Underwood or The Pretenders. She's like, I thought she slayed it.
Because from what I was reading, because I read about it this morning, that Noah Thompson, one of his songs was good, not great, and then the second one he came back and he killed it.
Second one was better. He just sat on a bar
Uh-huh.
stool, played his guitar out there, and he did fine. But yeah, he's not going to win, but he's going to have a very successful career.
Uh-huh.
But I don't believe that he's going.
But then again,
he's going to win.
The Kentuckians are like you meant, they're motivated.
They are, but see, now you've got to split the country vote. You've got to
Uh-huh.
split the country vote between Hunter
Uh-huh.
Girl and Noah, and that's gonna hurt. SNL, their cold open of all the things they could have talked about over the weekend, they went full nightmare Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, and it was pretty funny. I mean, it was all right. There were some things I didn't know that were being reported in that trial that they wove into their cold open, and then that paved the way for this story that I knew that Disney had moved on from Johnny Depp on the Pirates movies, but Pirates of the Caribbean 6 with Margot Robbie is still in development. Okay, I'm open to this idea. Now they're not sure, said person involved in the production. Oh, Jerry Bruckheimer said, yes, we're talking to Margot Robbie, which might indicate that talks have regressed somewhat since the film's original announcement 2 years ago. He went on to reveal that we are developing 2 pirate scripts, one with her and one without.
Can you have Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp?
Yes, you can. Can you have Pirates of the Caribbean without Captain Jack Sparrow? I say yes, you can.
It's tough.
I like the character, but Johnny Depp was already weird, and now this trial has gone like weird beyond weird. And so I'd
Not
rather
all necessarily his fault, though. I mean,
I didn't say it's all his fault, but
there's
just the way that he
things
acts and the
happening
way
up
that
on
he
his
side
side tables, and all that.
Yes, that was part of the cold.
Yeah, I
open
was
that they were-
imagining. I didn't watch it, but I imagined that was the part that you were referring to.
Yeah, they did a whole bit on his staff.
Did Selena, was she Amber Heard, or did she not act?
No,
on it?
they didn't. There was no. See, they wouldn't touch her.
Mhm.
They didn't. They just had her attorney in there. I don't think they even had anybody
Mhm.
playing Amber Heard. Post Malone did 2 songs the other night, neither of which I saw. Skip, 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 skip. Not that I have that much problem with Post Malone, but I
thought you were a big fan.
There's a cautionary tale of what not to do. Yeah, I mean, you just take a look at him and go, "Whew."
You mean you're not going to do the tattoos like that?
I'm certainly not. Well, I'm 100% certain. There are a few things that I am certain of, but I am certain of I'm not doing that. I'm a little disappointed because Eurovision snuck by me. So they had been telling me how great this Eurovision is. Eurovision, not Eurovision. Eurovision. It's Europe's version of America's Got Talent meets American Idol, but they have one representative from every country and they compete and they claim a winner. It's like the Olympics of talent shows.
Interesting.
And then you get to, if your country wins, you host it the next year.
Oh, that's cool.
And so there are qualifiers in all the countries. Americans don't participate because it's Eurovision. Well, the Ukrainian entry won. And so
maybe I did hear about
they
this
won
now.
the Eurovision Song Contest, and Volodymyr Zelensky said, we'll do everything we can to host it next year in Mariupol is where they're hoping to have it next year. On Saturday, Saturday morning, I thought I was going to Google how to watch Eurovision in the United States. And then next thing I knew, they announced a winner. And I'm like, well, so much for that. I guess I can't.
Sure, you can find it on YouTube.
Probably. I've heard it's really good, though. It's kind of like watching sporting events, though. Once you know the outcome, like not too good.
Mhm.
And then Drake and Olivia Rodrigo cleaned up at the Billboard Music Awards. I think for every award that he didn't win, she won, and every award that she didn't win, he did. So congratulations to them at the Billboard Music Award. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Finish it up for the morning. You're on In the Know.
Who's more valuable to society? a professional athlete, or a custodian? Your answer boils down to your perception of value. Judging by the difference in pay, you'd think pro athletes were much more important than custodians. The average NBA basketball salary is just over $8 million. By contrast, the average custodian makes just $31,000 a year. That's 250 times less. And yet, when COVID hit in 2020, a very different perspective about what's truly valuable began to emerge. Every branch of professional sports either canceled their season outright or they shortened it. By contrast, janitors at most every company in every city across the country kept right on working. So did first responders, pastors, and many in the food industry who earn minimum wage. They all braved the pandemic in order to help other people in need and to keep our nation's infrastructure intact and moving forward. We rarely see a person's true value at first glance. We make snap judgments that assign value based on false assumptions, stereotypes, and cultural bias. Or we attribute our highest value to what's popular and new. Our value system gets turned upside down, and we lose our true north. To fully appreciate the true value of something, look beneath the surface. The way you see value depends a lot on how you see the world. For more to help you thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
The credit card debt happened when my daughter was born. I was using one credit card account to roll over into another credit card account, and it was snowballing.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
When I first called Trinity, the representative understood the need based on the situation. They were great people to work with. From the first phone call that I made, they had me on a track to mitigate the credit card debt.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
Working with Trinity gave me the ability to save thousands of dollars. My name's Doug, and thanks to Trinity, I'm debt-free for keeps.
Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
I'm Jeremy Loxton, and I'm seeking re-election as county attorney on May 17th. Grayson County is a county moving forward. My staff and I are asking to continue to be part of the push forward as we are just getting started. Service and improvement is our motto, and service and improvement is what you deserve. So on May 17th, please vote Jeremy Loxton for Grayson County Attorney.
Paid for by Jeremy Loxton.
Steve Stapleton has been serving Grayson County for most of his life. He spent 45 years at the Litchfield Fire Department, 24 years as a paramedic, became licensed in determining and pronouncing death, and served on the Area 5 Critical Incident and Stress Debriefing Team. It is his passion to be the voice for those who have lost theirs and to provide honest answers and peace of mind to their families. By electing Steve Stapleton, you're electing a man of character and advanced medical background. Steve Stapleton promises to restore credibility, professionalism, integrity, and compassion to the office of Grayson County Coroner. Paid for by Steve Stapleton.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. If it weren't for movies, would any of us know what an elevator shaft looks like?
That's true.
I've never personally seen.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I don't.
You
Yeah.
prefer not to know? Or you prefer to leave it,
yeah,
let the movies and television educate you on that? Well, I mean, I guess there's far more information that.
Yeah, I don't know when I would have ever had an opportunity to see one.
You think you could climb out the roof of an elevator car
Not
into
right
the
now.
shaft? And
There's no doubt about that.
No, you probably wouldn't do that. Okay.
No, I got like a mix between a fear of heights and a fear of falling. So I'd much prefer to keep my 2 feet on the ground.
That there's what we call the double whammy.
Uh-huh.
I got it.
Uh-huh. It's
On
like a 50-50.
On television tonight, Better Call Saul on AMC.
Good show.
And on the Food Network, Barbecue Brawl. After a big team shakeup, the Pitmasters could use a day of team building with their new captains, Bobby Flay, Ann Burrell, and Jet Tila.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything going on in the NBA right now, or all the series paused But did everybody?
I think it all ended yesterday.
Yeah, I think yesterday was seemingly a big day. So now the conference finals.
I think so. I think that's
conference
right.
finals. Conference finals start, and then the NBA finals will be 3 weeks from now. They figure out a way to make that. Conference finals last. I mean, I know it's June.
It's the one pro to the NFL is it's, and I know it's a different sport, but it's once a week, and then the Super Bowl.
Today's highlight in history: this day, 1943, the nearly month-long Warsaw Ghetto Uprising came to an end as German forces crushed the Jewish resistance and blew up the Great Synagogue. In 1770, Marie Antoinette, at age 14, married the future King Louis XVI of France, who was 15. This date in 1990, death claimed entertainer Sammy Davis Jr. and Muppets creator Jim Henson on the same day. Sammy Davis Jr. was just 64 and Jim Henson was just 53.
I'm not sure I knew they died on the same day.
I didn't know that, or at least I didn't recall.
Mm-hmm.
Birthdays today: Danny Trejo is 78. Pierce Brosnan is 69. Pierce Brosnan is the fourth best James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah Winger is 67 today. It goes,
Sean Connery
in case
one?
you didn't know, Sean Connery is number 1. Daniel Craig is 2. Roger Moore is 3. Pierce Brosnan is 4.
No, I think my dad has a very similar ranking. I know with like the first Daniel Craig movie, he was not on board, but it was like every movie that Daniel Craig did, he kind of raised up the list in my dad's ranking.
And for the record, it's hard for me to put Daniel Craig ahead of Roger Moore.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in similar number of movies now, and I don't want to vote for Roger Moore just because of the nostalgia. I just think that if I could step back and see it, I'll see that Daniel Craig was a better Bond.
And I don't think anybody can beat Sean Connery, right?
No, Connery's number 1. Undefeated, will take on all comers. Nobody is going to dethrone Connery as the best Bond. Janet Jackson is 56 today. David Boreanaz is 53. Tucker Carlson is 53. Tori Spelling is 49. Megan Fox is 36. Gone but not forgotten, William Seward, who was the U.S. Secretary of State that negotiated the purchase of Alaska from Russia. We paid $7.2 million from it. They called it Seward's Folly, and now look at what it's worth. Henry Fonda, born this date in 1905. Gone but not forgotten. Let's find some chart toppers. From 1953,
than anybody's had. Don't got no worries.
Jim Reeves,
Don't got
number
no
1.
dough. Everybody's wondering about Mexican Joe.
Don't got
In
no.
old Mexico, they call him the Rumba King. Leads all the women around on a string. When
Can you
they
still play
go
this song?
out, they get a million thrills. But the lovely senoritas wind up with the bills. Dance.
I just did.
They're coming for you.
Take it up with Jim Reeves. The Shirelles number 1 with Soldier Boy.
Take that assumption that Jim Reeves is no longer with us.
Number 1 in 62. Bold prediction, Sam.
I'll be true to you.
Soldier Boy. Let's move on to 1971.
Yeah, I was right. He passed away in 1964.
Jim Reeves passed away in 64. I knew it was a long time ago.
He was 40 years old.
This song and I are the same age, by the way.
Is that why you like it so much?
Not really. But I mean, I dare you to walk into a room and say Jeremiah was a bullfrog and someone not retort, he was a good friend of mine. So, 1980 Blondie and Call Me.
I feel like we've had this on chart toppers for the past couple of weeks now. Blondie.
God. I didn't realize you had a problem with Blondie.
I don't know if it's a problem.
1989.
Finally something.
By the way, I didn't even have to look at the year. So while the theme from Young Guns, Blaze of Glory, not their best song, for me, this is one of their best songs. Let's go to 1998, Shania Twain.
You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life.
Did you know she's taller than Tom Cruise?
Well, I mean, that's not.
Actually,
Tom Cruise is.
Actually, they look eye to eye. They're both 5'4".
I was going to say, I knew Tom Cruise was tiny. I'm not sure I realized he was that short.
I think she's a little less than 5'4", but not much. I saw a tweet over the weekend. It was funny. It was on this date that 5'4" Pete Maverick took on 6'2" Iceman. Right. They're talking about dogfights. Rascal Flatts Stand, number 1 in 2007. And let's go to 2016, 6 years ago. Lucas Graham, number 1, was 7 years.
This is a pretty good song.
I always had that dream like
It was hard to escape in 2016.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, when we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes,